Okay, so I timed this at home with my 6-year-old grandson, and it was 3 minutes and 3 seconds. We have a truth teller over there because all the videos are running, and they're telling us exactly how long we are. So, slide, please. Can we make me big?
Sure.
Than I am. There I go. I lead, therefore I listen, am authentic, and I speak.
Yes.
Here's a little story about that. My niece
love
took
it.
that as my headshot because
Love it.
somebody was bugging me for one. So that's the front of my living room on a Sunday afternoon. We just shot like 100, so you don't have to do like high-tech stuff. Just my iPhone on portrait setting. My grandson loves to help me lead the group, and so there he is doing that. And this is how I often feel in my group. I'm like, does anyone else lost their mojo like I did? So I speak, therefore, I lead, therefore I speak. I speak encouraging words within our group and to our leaders especially. Y'all get a sense of when your moderators are really just struggling. It may not be related to the group at all, but for us, an encouraging word goes a long way. The same thing within your group. It sets a culture of encouragement, and I've been told I'm Pollyanna, which I find hysterical. But, you know, speak encouraging words. I speak on relevant topics, and I remind our group what is irrelevant in our group, which is sometimes a little hard lesson to learn. And what I consider relevant and what they consider relevant are two different things. And I remind them that I am leading the group, and they are more than welcome to join in on what I consider relevant. I tell you, the other piece of this, though, is that I've launched affiliate groups from our main group to address topics that I don't consider irrelevant but are very important to my group members. So that's another option, to keep the relevant posts in our main group, but we have off-topic groups where they can just talk about anything, and they still feel empowered and they still feel safe within our group. I speak when things are challenging. I mentioned before that I'm a military support group, and so when things happen, my moms freak out, and understandably, I'm going to totally get emotional, and understandably so. And I have to remind them that we're going to be okay. Like, I would be the one. There was an attack on my son's school campus. It's a military school, and they were, and it was a terrifying time. I could not get a hold of my son. They shut down my communications in and out. We did not know if our kids were okay. We did not know if the attack had gone off, but what we knew was there was this big, really scary thing happening. And for me, it was reminding them, hey, you guys will all be okay. Like, in the end, we're all here in this space together, and in the end, we will all still be here. And even if the worst has occurred, we're still here for you. And just to remind them of that, like, this is a place that you can come and freak out. I just can't be the person to freak out in the group, which is a learning curve of being a leader. And I speak when we have cause to celebrate. We have some amazing things that happen, and when your kid gets pinned on a rank, it's a very big deal. And everybody else is like, oh, that's nice. We throw the party because I want our people to know that what goes on in their life is valuable to us as members. Next slide, please. I speak using memes. Especially, I've got my grandson who cannot smile to save his soul. And I use him a lot to remind people in a humorous way of what I would like for them to do. I speak in graphics. I use Canva like crazy.
Yeah.
There's an app for that, if you don't know that, so you can do it, you know, while someone else is driving your car. It's a phenomenal way just to remind people or engage people or invite people in. You know, it isn't always about talking about rules. Sometimes it's talking about something funny and like what happened with you. So keep that in mind. I speak in simple posts. A lot of times it's just a couple sentences. I speak in comments. I go on and religiously comment back on people. It's important. I forget who said it, but like they need to know that we see them. It matters. And when our group is big, it's that much more important. It doesn't take that long, but it is a highly valued thing. I speak live. I do impromptu lives, which I love. I do them on Tuesdays. People don't realize it's not quite as impromptu as I let it be. And just be like, hey, what's going on? What are you guys doing? And chat back and forth with them. But I also schedule them for when there's something purposeful. I need to remind them of the rules, or we need to talk about an event that's happened. Or just to say, hey, this amazing thing happened. I want to share it with you guys because you're my family of 15,000. I also speak within my roles. I do remind them that I'm the founder, but I also talk to them as a mama, like, hey, my kid just took the worst pictures on earth. What am I supposed to do with these? Or he's graduating in 84 days. I still don't have a place for him. And I also just friend to friend, you know, like, hey, I am here in my sweats. And I posted a picture of me with sweats on the bottom and like dress clothes on top because I was having whatever those called, video interviews next. So I listen. I listen when emotions are running high. I think it's the most important and the most vital thing as leaders that we can do. That even when our emotions are running high, we have to be able to set our emotions aside and realize that a lot of times people vomit onto the screen or the keyboard. It has nothing to do with us personally. It has everything to do with what's going on in their heart. And to listen to that until they can get to the bottom of it and then be like, okay, now please don't do that. I do listen to improve the mindset of our group. Somebody blew up my message this morning it was a different group, but it was a reminder of the lesson. Mad because his post wasn't approved immediately. I'm like, I don't approve posts, I only talk about the comments, but I will pass this on. But to listen to the complaints, and even if they're not necessarily on point, to listen and see if there's something we can do to increase the value of our group and the quality of our group through what they might say. And yesterday, I listened when a member needs a person and not a comment. Someone posted that they lost their first grandchild. Mom was pregnant 16 weeks, and she does not need a comment. She needs someone who's like, hey, I'm here, I see you, and I feel your pain. So, and they come to us as leaders, they do. Yeah. So I lead, I don't admin. I don't like the word admin. I don't even like the moderator word, the M word. Next slide, please. So what's the difference? To administer is to manage, direct, oversee, control, and govern. None of that is me unless you're my 6-year-old grandson who's peeing on the floor. I lead. That's you, Caleb. Anyway, I lead because I guide on the way, especially by going in advance. I lead by example, I lead by recognition, and I lead by reaching out, especially when people are quiet. Like, people go silent for a reason. And if we are fortunate enough to notice that they're silent, we have a responsibility to lead by reaching out to them and to lead them back to where they belong, whether it's our group or another group that meets their needs. So what do? I lead a moderator team. We have a moderator team of 25 right now. I do frequent check-ins every single morning, multiple times during the day. I just pop in, like, how are you guys doing? What's going on? We do screenshots and all of that stuff so we all know what's going on. But I'm asking you, how are you doing? What's going on with you? I know that you're having trouble with this, or how are you feeling today? I know you were sick yesterday. I have personal conversations. I love Facebook Messenger so much. And the video conferences, even just a couple minutes worth of one, it makes them feel recognized, makes them feel valued again. It's super important. I do Q&A nights, especially if we seem to be struggling on a specific topic. We have a secret group for our moderators and admins, and I'll say, hey, Tuesday night at 7 o'clock, grab a beer or a coffee, tea, whatever. We're going to talk about this, so if you have other questions, please post them now so I can be prepared to respond. It's been super great, but I also just lead them in goofy things, like when stupid stuff happens. I'll post memes, and my grandson mostly, and just joke with them about that. So I always lead. It's such a responsibility, and I did not intend to start this group. I did not intend to launch a nonprofit. I intended to keep working at the little job that I loved and doing all of this stuff. But if I'm going to raise up leaders, I need to be one, and I need to tell my story about where I struggle in leadership and not be about moderating. I need to be able to coach them on how to do things, how to tap into people, how to respond. And I need to have the conversations that are like, hey, handle it this way, but to encourage them. Like, you guys are on the right track. You just have to tweak this a little bit. And I also lead our other members and potential leaders in our culture. We've talked about that a lot today. Like, we have to set the culture. Because if we're the mean girls, they're the mean girls. If we're the inclusive, they're inclusive. They really look to us. And I don't know if you guys experience, like, we're kind of semi-celebrities in our groups. Like, it's kind of, it freaks me out a little bit sometimes. So we have to set that culture, the expectations, and the tone of the group. Because if we don't, someone else will. Yeah. Next slide, please. Oh. That's it. That's all I got.